So let's start in constructive rest on our backs, feet nice and wide to the outer edges of your mat. And as you come into your constructive rest position, just give your body a few minutes. Let your shoulders get comfortable, your spine get comfortable, your feet get comfortable, and then wherever you like with your arms, out at your sides or resting on your tummy, whatever feels nice. As you give your body a moment or two more just to kind of find that soft settling in. So notice if you're still holding a little bit of tension in your body, like you're waiting for that next cue or that next thing to happen, let go of that. Let go of that and see if you can just let your muscle tissue relax. Let your belly relax. Let your butt and your hips relax. Let your feet soften. Let your shoulder heads and your chest muscles soften. And then if you found that softer, heavier position of your body, then tune in and just notice your breath. Notice the physical action of breath in your body. So take a nice, generous inhale. Nice, slow exhale. Just take a few more nice deep breaths here, following your own breath's rhythm, but allowing the breath to come in at a slower pace and allowing the exhale to happen at a slower pace. Take one more nice deep breath here. And then before we move away from this place, take a moment to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And then with that intention set, if your arms were resting or hands resting on the belly, take them out to the side in an anatomical position with the palms facing up. So about 45 degrees away from the body so the shoulder heads still have a comfortable position. And then we're just going to focus on the hands and the fingers. So as you inhale, roll your fingers in, make a little fist and squeeze. And as you exhale, roll the fingers out and stretch your hands nice and wide. Inhale, roll your fingers in, make a little fist and squeeze. Exhale, roll your fingers out, stretch them nice and wide. One more just like that. Inhale, roll your fingers in, make a little fist and squeeze. Exhale, roll your fingers out, stretch them nice and wide. And then slide your hands a little bit closer to the sides of the body. Inhale, and we're going to take like a bicep curl here. So we're going to pull the fingers up towards the shoulders, see if you can touch your shoulders. And then exhale, bring the hands back down alongside the hips. Inhale, pull the fingertips up towards the shoulders, see if you can keep your elbows on the ground. Exhale, hands lower back down. One more just like that. Inhale to bring the fingers up to the shoulders. Exhale, hands lower down. And now we're going to flip the palms. So palms are facing down towards the ground, pressing into the earth. And then press your palms, press the backs of your hands, press the backs of your arms, and press your shoulder heads down into the ground. So you might feel a tiny little lift or activation in the chest as you feel your shoulder blades press into the earth. Take one more breath here with that pressing down sensation. And then when you're ready, exhale, soften, and we're going to reach the hands up in front of the chest, palms facing in towards each other. And then arms are going to reach up and overhead. You're going to let your thumbs touch the ground and then pull it back to chest height. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Let your thumbs touch the ground. Exhale, bring it back in front of your chest. One more just like that. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring it back. And now right palm is going to face down towards your knee. Left hand's going to reach up and grab your right fingertips, just a little stretch to the wrist. So you're going to gently draw the fingers back. Feel that little gentle tug, stretch through the forearm. Take a nice big breath in. And then release, take it over to the other side. Catch hold of the fingertips, gently push your palm up towards the ceiling so you're getting that nice little stretch. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release that hand, catch hold of both elbows, take it into that I Dream of Jeannie arms across the chest, and then just gently pull the elbows side to side. Once you have a nice rhythm and you feel like that's got a good pace going, we're going to add the knees as well. So as your elbows pull in one direction, knees are going to start to drop in the opposite direction. Give a little time for your knees to find a nice softness. So allow time for the muscles to find a little gumminess. And then once you feel like you're finding that warmth or gumminess in the hips, then let your knees drop out a little bit further. Keep that rhythm going, and then you choose your own adventure. So either your head's going to follow the movement of your elbows, or your head's going to follow the movement of the knees. So as your elbows and knees move side to side, your head is going to turn as well, just inviting a little bit of movement into the cervical spine. But notice, how is your neck feeling? How are your shoulders feeling? How are your hips feeling? How are your knees feeling? Take one more turn of everything side to side. And then when you're ready, bring it all back into center. Walk your feet in a little bit closer. So now feet about hip width distance apart, heels a little closer to the butt. We're going to move right into a pelvic tilt. Let your hands come down alongside your hips. Exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. One more just like that. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. And now we're going to take it into some rolling bridges, but we're going to go full height. So curl your tailbone up, lift up nice and high, or as high as feels good to you. Roll down through your spine. So think upper back, middle back, low back. As your hips touch down, pick your knees up, pull them into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze, and then release your feet back down to the ground. Hands down, roll back up into that bridge. Curl your tailbone up, roll up nice and slow, just as high as you like. And then once you feel like you found a good height, start to roll back down, upper back, middle back, low back, hips touch down, pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze. Beautiful. One more time, just like that. Feet down, hands down, roll the tailbone up, curl up through the spine, come to a height that feels nice to you. And then once you feel ready, release upper back, middle back, low back, hips touch down, pull both knees into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze. And then we're going to move right into wind relieving pose. So hold on to your right knee, let your left leg go nice and long, but the heel is going to hover. Switch, pull the left knee in, right leg extends nice and long. Inhale as you switch. Exhale as you squeeze your knee into your chest. Inhale to switch. Exhale to squeeze. One more time on each side. And then pull both knees back into the chest. And then we're going to get a little bit of an extra hug to pull the nose towards the knee. So get that head lifting away from the ground. Contract the abdominal muscles just a little bit to find that tight little ball position. Take one more moment here. And then we're going to relax that tight little ball position, grab the backs of the thighs. We're going to start to find a couple of good rocks and rolls. We're going to rock and roll up to a little supported boat. So we're going to find a little bit of balance as we come up, but we're going to hold on to the backs of the thighs. And then think about pushing your thighs into your hands, push your heels forward, lift up through the crown of your head. So nice and strong, but supported and strong. Take one more moment here. And then if you can, we're going to crisscross the legs and find your way right into an easy seated position. So crisscross your legs, lean yourself forward, and then rearrange so that you find a nice, comfortable, easy seat. Nice. And then once you're there, right hand's going to touch down, left hand's going to reach up. Take a nice, gentle side bend. Lift up and take it right over to the other side. Beautiful. Now lift up and take it right into a seated twist. So left hand's going to find the right knee, right hand behind you. Awesome. Release and take your twist over to the other side. Beautiful. Take it to center. We're going to take 3 seated cat cows here. So inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck your chin to your chest. Nice. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, round your back. One more time here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Beautiful. And then find a nice neutral spine. We're going to come back to our seated twist. So twist over to the right, left hand finds the right knee. Take a moment to find that nice leverage twist. So go just as deep as feels good. And then we're going to soften the position of the twist. So maybe your heart is now just going to face out towards your knee. And then once you find that softer position, now we're going to take 3 cat cows here. So as you inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin. And as you exhale, round your back. So you're going to keep your handhold on your knee, but that means you might have a shorter range of motion. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, round your back. Beautiful. One more time here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Inhale to a neutral spine and then release, take your twist over to the other side. So first we're going to leverage, finding that deeper twist. And then release it slightly so your heart is pointing toward your knee, and then move back into that cat cow. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, round your back. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Find a neutral spine, unwind, come back to center. 1 cat cow just for that little reset. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale and round your back. Beautiful. Find a neutral spine. And now we're going to lean back into the sits bone so you can just swing your legs out. I'm just going to scooch back so there's plenty of space where you can see, but we're going to keep that generous bent knee position. And then we're going to just manipulate the thigh muscle tissue. So we're going to take our hands, grab hold of the muscle tissue, and you're just going to start to twist and turn the muscle, the skin, and the connective tissue on the thigh bones. So you're going to twist and turn up towards where your thigh meets your hips, and then twist and turn back down towards your knee. Take 2 more up and down on this leg. And we want to really get a nice firm handhold, but we don't want to injure ourselves. So make sure you're just pulling that tissue just enough so you feel it moving, but not so much that you are burning the skin. All right, and then pause for a moment and notice how one leg feels a little different than the other, and then take it over to the other side. Grab hold of that muscle tissue, twist and turn down towards where the thigh meets the hips, twist and turn back up towards the knee. Take 2 more times up and down on this leg. Beautiful. And then once you've completed that, we're going to take it into Cobbler's pose or Badakanasana. So soles of the feet together. But if you can, make it a nice big broad diamond. So heels slightly away from the body. So you don't have to go to that extreme external rotation. And then once you have that diamond shape, lift your chest, and we're just going to reach the hands forward. See if you can reach your hands to find your toes, and then a little rounding through the back of the body. So rather than trying to force your knees down, just let your knees be slightly engaged. So knees are slightly lifted, thighs are slightly engaged. Lean your heart forward. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Lovely. And then lift yourself back up. We're going to spin those legs around and find our way into a tabletop position or come onto all fours. So as you find your way onto all fours, just take a second to make sure everything feels good. If you need to double stack your mat or cushion your knees or cushion your wrists, take a second to do that. And then once you're here in your tabletop position, we're going to pick the right hand up, rotate the fingers so that they're pointing towards your knee, and then place your palm down. And then once you feel that nice little stretch in the wrist and the palm, pause there, take a breath. If it feels good, you're going to pull your hips back just a little bit. So you're going to get that stretch in the wrist, and then you're going to let your palm peel away from the floor, stretching all the way to the fingers. Pick that hand up, give your hand a little wiggle, reset it down on your mat, and then we'll switch to the other side. Pick your left hand up, rotate your fingers towards your knee, press your palm down, pause for a moment, take a breath. Beautiful. And then pull your butt back a little bit, peel that palm up away from the floor, peel the fingers up. And then once you come all the way up with that hand, give your hand a little wiggle, reset it, come back to your tabletop. Beautiful. Both sets of toes curled under, pull your butt back to your heels, get a little stretch to the toes, to the bottoms of the feet. And then when you're ready, come right back up, lean your shoulders slightly past your wrist, but keep the toes curled under. Beautiful. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Come back up, bring your shoulders slightly past your wrist. Nice, one more just like that. Pull your butt back to your heels. Come forward, bring your shoulders in line with the wrists. Keep the toes curled under. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail, and then keep the belly down. Take 3 good nods of your head up and down. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to take it into some circle movements with the spine. So you're going to pull your ribs over to one side, round the back, circle over the other way, drop the belly down. 2 more circles in this direction just to smooth those rib circles around. Beautiful. And then the next time your belly drops down to that center, take your circles, draw them the other way. Pull the ribs to one side, round your back, over to the other side, drop your belly down. Awesome. 2 more times in this direction. Nice. And then come back to that neutral spine. And then hopefully your toes are still curled under. Pull your butt back to your heels. Take 1 nice solid breath here. And then lift yourself back up into the tabletop position. Exhale and find your way up to downward facing dog. Take a few petals of the legs. Bend one knee and press into the opposite heel. Lovely. Take 1 or 2 more petals of the legs. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Nice soft bend in the knees, but it's a folded position. So rather than ragdoll with the feet nice and wide, step your feet in so they're about hip or shoulder distance apart. And then with that soft bend in the knees, we're going to take 3 half forward folds. So as you inhale, lift up through the low belly, lengthen through the spine, reach through the crown of your head, hands find your shins. Awesome. Exhale, soften yourself back down. Inhale, come to that half forward fold position. Hands glide to the shins, reach through the crown of your head. Beautiful. Soften back down. 1 more just like that. Inhale to that half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, lift your shoulders up to your ears. Get a little squeeze. As you exhale, shoulders soften down, head turns to the right. Inhale, lift the shoulders up, get that little squeeze. As you exhale, shoulders soften down, turn your head to the left. Inhale, shoulders up, get that little squeeze. Now we're going to keep our head facing forward, neutral, soften your shoulders down. Beautiful. Take your awareness down to your toes. As you inhale, just lift your toes, spread your toes as wide as you can. Exhale, lower your toes back down. Inhale and lift your toes up. Exhale, lower your toes down. 1 more time with those toes. Inhale, lift your toes up. Exhale, lower down. And now we're going to take it into the heels. As you inhale, lift your heels up away from the floor. Just go as high as you can control. Exhale, lower your heels back down. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, lower back down. 1 more time here. Inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, lower your heels down. Back into your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. We're going to pick up the heels, lower the knees through tabletop, and we're going to step the right foot forward into a nice little 90-90 lunge. So you're going to step that right foot up and then lift your torso, rearrange your feet as needed. So we get that 90-90 squared up lunge. Pull the right hip crease back, draw your tailbone down slightly. Feel that little engagement in that front left pocket area. And then once you're there, right hand on the hip, left hand is going to reach up to the sky, look up, but keep drawing the tailbone down slightly. Take 1 more breath. And then release that lift of the heart just a little bit, and then lean over to the right. Take a little side bend. One more breath. Lift up, float the hands down, frame your front foot. Now we're going to walk that back foot back a little bit. So we're going to go just a little bit deeper into that low lunge. So scooch the foot back. Once you found that deeper lunge, lift your heart, lift your gaze, take 1 good breath. And now we're going to take 3 half splits here. So rock back, peel the front toes up, rock forward, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Rock back, peel the toes up, rock forward, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Lovely. 1 more just like that. Rock back. Rock forward, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Now we're going to curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up. Left hand is going to stay on the ground. Right hand's going to reach up for a twist. . Beautiful. Bring that hand down to the ground. We're going to plant the palm, step your front foot back to a plank. And then from that plank position, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower gently onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, lower down. Push your way into a tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale, up to downward facing dog. Take a pedal or two of your legs. Beautiful. And then from here, pick up your heels, lower your knees, come back to table. Left foot's going to step forward. So we're going to find that 90-90 lunge to the other side. Lift your torso up, rearrange your feet as needed. Pull that left hip crease back. Draw your tailbone down. Left hand's going to stay on the hip. Right hand is going to reach up. We're going to lift the heart, lift the gaze, but keep the tailbone drawing down. Nice. And then loosen up that position so the heart is not so lifted. And then lean over to the left. Take a side bend. Awesome. Releasing that side bend. Hands are going to float down to the ground. And now we're going to walk that back leg back just a little bit. So we find a little bit deeper of that low lunge. And then once you feel like you're there, lift your heart, lift your gaze, take one good breath. And then 3 half splits here. So we're going to pull the hips back, peel the front toes up, rock forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Pull the hips back, rock yourself forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Awesome. One more just like that. Rock back, rock forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up. Right hand is going to stay on the ground. Left hand is going to reach up for a twist. Awesome. Left hand down to the ground, plant your palms, step back to plank, lower your knees, rotate the eyes of the elbows, lower gently onto your belly. Once you found your way down, take a second. Let your shoulders, give your shoulders a little shimmy, give your butt a little wiggle, let your heels wiggle out. And then we're going to get just a little bit engaged. So we're going to, like you're trying to walk your toenails down towards the edge of your mat. So walk your feet nice and long, and then imagine that you're pressing your toenails and the tops of your feet into your mat. And then draw your tailbone down just a little bit as if you're trying to draw your tailbone down towards your toes. And then hands alongside the shoulders, elbows soft in the ribs. We're going to take a nice high cobra here, or just as high as feels right in your spine. So as you inhale, lift your heart, draw your shoulders down and back just a little bit. Reach up through the crown of your head. Only come up as high as feels safe in your spine. Take one good breath. And then when you're ready, slow and controlled, release your way back down to the ground. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Take a pedal or two of your legs. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to a half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees. Push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, press your palms together, elbows nice and wide. Take a light balance here. Shift your weight over to your left foot. Pick your right heel up. If it feels available, just lift the knee up gently. Flex the foot, interlace the fingers, pointers up towards the ceiling. Raise your arms up. Take one good breath. Bring the arms back down in front of the heart. Unlace the fingers. Set your right foot down. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Press your palms together. Peel your left heel up. And then if it feels available, pick the knee up, flex the foot, interlace the fingers, pointers up, reach your arms up towards the sky, take one good breath. Release your hands back to your heart, unlace your fingers, set your foot down. Beautiful, let your hands come down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into a tabletop position. And then from here, you're either going to swing your feet out to one side or crisscross your ankles, but we're going to sit back onto the butt so our legs can come out in front of us nice and long. And now we're going to take it into a wide leg fold position. So legs out nice and wide, but nice and active in that wideness. So first start by just finding a width that feels like you get a little sensation in the inner thigh or the groin. And then we're going to play with the feet for a second. So let your toes drop in and then pull your toes back. Let your toes drop in. Pull your toes back. Let your toes drop in. Beautiful. Pull your toes back. Keep your toes pulled back. Hands are going to come behind the butt. And then we're going to pick the butt up slightly. Push your hips forward just a little bit. So now you're going to get a little bit deeper into that inner thigh action, but the toes are still drawing back. Once you feel like you found that, release your hands from the floor. Keep that nice lifted chest. Walk your hands forward one step. So we're just getting a little hip hinge here. You're just going to lean your chest forward. Keep those toes actively pulling back. Inner thighs nice and active. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, if it feels good, you're going to walk your hands forward one more step, but you're going to keep those inner thighs active. Toes are drawing back. Take an inhale, find a little bit of lift in your chest. If it feels right to do so, as you exhale, you'll walk your hands forward one more step. Keeping the toes active, inner thighs active, so the toes are drawing back. Take one more breath here. Awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully walk yourself back in. We're going to grab hold of the backs of the knees, pick those knees up, bring those legs together, and then we're going to start to find our way down to the ground. So come down, maybe curl your tailbone under, engage those abdominal muscles, roll your way down with a bit of control. And then once you found your way there, we're going to take the right leg into a figure 4 position, but give yourself a second. Get yourself situated, make sure your clothes are comfortable. Right leg across the left, and we're going to take it into a hands-free figure 4. So we're going to lift the left leg up, and then with your hands down at your side, use your arms as a little anchor and just wobble your figure 4 a little side to side. Nice. One more little wobble of your figure 4 side to side. And then as your legs come back to a more central position, thread your hands through, grab hold of the back of the thigh, gently draw the legs in, take a nice deep breath. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then release, switch to the other side. Left leg is going to come across the right, set your figure 4 up to start, and then lift your right leg up, arms out nice and wide, support that position, and then rock your figure 4 side to side. Wonderful. One more little rock side to side. And then as you come back to center, thread your hands through, grab the back of the thigh, gently draw it in, take one good breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, release, unlace your legs, step both feet down. So feet are about hip width distance apart. And we're just going to work with the right leg here. So hands just in a wherever is out of the way, comfortable position. We're just going to drop the right knee out to the side and then bring the right knee back up and in. Drop the right knee out to the side, bring the right knee back up and in. Drop the right knee out to the side, bring it back up and in, and then switch over to the left. Left knee out to the side, bring it back up and in. Left knee out to the side, bring it back up and in. One more just like that. Left knee out to the side, bring it back up and in. And now drop the right knee out as far as it will go. So find your edge, let it sink all the way down. And then if it feels available, press into your palms, slide your left leg all the way down to the end of your mat, flex your foot, and then see if you can let that right knee drop just a little bit deeper. Take one good breath. Beautiful. Slide your left leg back in, pull your right knee up, and now we're going to take it to the other side. Let your left knee drop out just as wide as it will go. Give it a second. And then once you feel like you're there, press into your palms, slide your right leg nice and long, flex your foot, and then see if you can just let that left knee drop just a little bit further. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slide your right leg back in, pull that left knee into meet. Both knees are going to hug into the chest, get a nice little squeeze. And then like we're taking butterfly circles with those knees, we're going to circle the knees out and away from each other, up towards the ceiling, hug them into the chest. Take 2 more circles in this direction. And then reverse directions, take your circles the other way. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we're going to keep the left foot on the ground. Right leg is going to extend up. So a single leg up the wall. And then once you've got that right leg up towards the ceiling, let your arms just find a comfortable position. And then we're going to give that right leg a good gentle shake. So just let that leg wiggle and shake if the wiggle and shake feels good. If you do not like that vibrational work, you'd never have to do it. You can always keep your legs stationary and just let gravity work for you. But if it feels nice to add that little shake, give it 1 or 2 more good gentle shakes. And then when you're ready, set that foot down to the ground, switch to the other side. Left leg is going to extend up towards the ceiling. Give that leg a good gentle shake if it feels good, or just leave it stationary and let gravity work for you. Beautiful. Take 1 more good gentle shake of that leg. And then when you're ready, slowly release that foot down to the ground. Toe heel your feet back out to the outer edges of your mat. Let your knees drop in towards each other. Pause for a second and notice. If there's any last posture, pose, movement, or stretch that your body absolutely needs, maybe take a second to find that for yourself. But if all is feeling good, start to set up for your Shavasana. If you're in a cold space, throw your socks on, throw your sweater on, put your blanket on, and then ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it be good to come back to this constructive rest position to support the low back? Do you want a little extra for the hips? Maybe tuck your pillows or your blanket underneath the edges of your thighs so that you get that supported reclined cobbler's pose. Or do you prefer that more traditional shape and you walk your legs long? No right or wrong, just whatever feels most comfortable in your body and allows you to find a little stillness that makes sense to you. And then once you've kind of found that comfortable position with the body for a moment here, can you just start to listen into the sounds around you? Give your body a little time, let it settle in. Notice the subtle sounds of your body as it starts to find that restful position. Notice any sounds in the room that you're in. And then if you're not already there, maybe you allow your eyes to close down or soften your gaze. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Invite some gentle movements into your fingers and into your toes. Take your time here. Really start to just feel your fingers and your toes moving. And if it helps, maybe you just even individualize. So maybe just wiggle your right hand and then your left hand and then your right foot and then your left foot. Awesome. And then once you feel like your hands and your feet are fairly woken up, maybe invite some bigger movements in. Move your wrists, move your ankles, move your knees. If you've got your prop or your blankets or any of your stuff, maybe you take a moment to just kind of move that stuff up and off to the side, and then step your feet back in. So feet are going to come to that nice wide position, and we're just going to take a few gentle windshield wipers here. So before we come up to our seated position, give a moment or two to just allow your hips to find a little movement again. You might notice as your knees rock side to side, there's movement in the hips, which might create just a light bit of movement in the spine. Take one more time each side. And then start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. So you might choose to rock and roll up or roll to one side or come up in any way that is appropriate for your body. Great. And then once you've found your way up to that comfortable seated position, take a second to find that nice tall spine, shoulders soften down, draw your abdominal muscles in just slightly, and then see if you can find your head, your heart, and your hips in a line so it feels like your back is leaning against an imaginary wall. And then once you feel like you've found all of that, hands are going to come together and we're going to fire up those palms and get them nice and good and hot and really supercharge those palms. So we want to feel our arms get just a little bit fatigued. So really get in there, do the work. Shoulders are going to get a little work. Arms are going to get a little work. Your biceps might hate me just at this moment. But once you feel like you just couldn't go anymore, your hands are super hot, you're going to place them right on top of your knees. Close your eyes down. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then when you feel ready, gather your hands together at heart center and Anjali Mudra, thumbs to sternum. Bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And I send my love and gratitude out to you. Thank you so much for sharing your morning with me. When you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Saturday.